It's all about quality and quantity on Brewsday Tuesday. Here is Huck and Big Nate.
There we go.
There you go.
Week 6, 7, 8. I don't know.
It's
been a long year, but I've got it.
I got it.
Finally, satisfyingly open a can. That was my only goal here, so I've achieved it.
I'm in my 6th year, and I still have trouble, so no worries. Oh, it looks like 10, just because you asked. Yeah, 10 shows. 11.
I can never.
10.
It's amazing to me how much this year we are almost at April.
Yeah. It's like I was sitting there one day, and it was halfway through the month. I'm like, what?
Oh, Lordy.
All right, so
we're continuing the big beers here on Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store, and I'm excited.
So I've historically spoken about the one beer you have, the Aslin, and how it was very difficult to get. Well, you can actually order it online. The good sign is you can. The bad news is it's not just Aslin, it's also the Vale and the Commonwealth, the 3 best breweries in Virginia. And they all are like $45 shipping.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's steep.
So I will usually order like $200 worth of beer. So this is Thin Man of Buffalo, New York. And I picked this because it's bliss, and I needed some bliss. It's been a rough
These are
year.
Both. I mean, as someone who moonlights as a graphic designer, these labels.
Yeah, Aslin's,
like this Aslin one.
Yeah, they're really
It's
good.
got like an Andy Warhol thing going on. And you know what? I'm all aboard. And I'm holding it up. If you're not watching the video,
yeah, so
you're missing out on some incredible artwork.
That looks like Andy Warhol is emulating the Scream.
Yes,
which is a famous Renoir, I think. I'm really not an art history guy, but I used to coach my children in a thing called Odyssey of the Mind, and there were different things. You build things, you build cars, you made things that would hold weight, and there's always a cultural one. And so one year it was like the Impressionist painters, so I learned all about them. And actually, I'm a big fan of that. You know,
there's a pretty good art museum up in Roanoke. If you haven't made the trip,
I have been a few years since I was there, but I like to go to DC to the Museum of Smithsonian. What's it called? The modern art one.
The MoMA.
The Hirshhorn.
MoMA's in New York.
The Hirshhorn. I've been to the MoMA as well. I love New York City. Well, I survived to New York City the few times I've been there. You can take a train from Roanoke, hopefully soon from Radford or Blacksburg.
They're working on that.
That would be great.
New River train station.
I guess they'll have to leave at Radford at like 4:30 a.m.
Yeah, so you got to get there really.
Early. I'll just spend the night in the parking lot with the other guys.
My dad always took the train.
You share some of that bag of chips you found in the dumpster?
Yeah, that's the other thing. They need, like, you see the old fashioned, like, at the baseball game, the guy walking around with the peanuts trying to sell them. They need that on trains.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, here's my
planes
approach.
Have food carts. Trains should have them too. I've never been on a train with one.
A pro tip. Now you got the kids, you can't really do this. So you get on the train, you find your seat. As soon as they announce the dining car is open, grab your little ticket and run to the dining car. Or I sometimes just get right in the dining car. I go and I sit in the dining car, I take up a 4-top, and that's my seat. And they put my ticket in the little holder right at my table in the dining car. You know, technically it's the dining car, but for me, it's the bar car. And then I got caught last time because I had like a pint of Buffalo Trace and I was refilling my bourbon glass. But after I'd been sitting there so long, it's like a 9-hour trip. They were friends. They're like, oh, don't worry about it.
To a certain degree, you're not robbing the train. What the hell?
Right. Even though that would be cool.
Train robberies,
like to do it.
For a long period of your industry, train robberies were a thing.
Hey, when I was a kid, we went to Tweetsy Railroad, and you get on this train, and I'm like 5 years old, and we're riding the train. This is fun. And then these guys come riding up on horses, stop the train, start shooting the conductor. So ever since then, I've wanted to be a train robber.
We could bring him back.
I think we
especially now that we've all got to wear masks all the time.
Right. I'm like, but how much coal can you put in your saddlebags?
I got to learn how to ride a horse.
Or oil. Coal and oil in your saddlebags after you rob the train. Wait a minute. Yeah. I don't think they run the mail on a train anymore, do they?
No.
Should.
That's probably why train robberies went down.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because now we'd just be shaking down random civilians, and that doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and
I want
actually,
to be like Robin Hood.
actually, those passenger trains go like 100 miles an hour. It'd be much easier to rob a coal train. Actually, car trains. What if they had like BMWs?
Yeah. But how many cars can you easily transport? There's 2 of us.
Yeah, yeah,
So maybe this is a better idea for a movie than an actual
I
business
guess
plan.
we'd have to steal a couple car carriers first. Trucks, go to the truck stop. Anyway,
We'll figure this out.
I think we've gone off on an extreme tangent. Okay, so these both beers. Let's go back to beer. These beers are all fuzzy. They're all you can't see through them. They look like
No, you cannot.
a milkshake. So this is
Opaque, I think is the
This
word.
is a New England style. And the tricky part is a lot of these have lactose in them, which I'm not a fan of. I don't think this one does.
So I want to ask, what is the benefit of adding the lactose?
It's just a different sugar, and it gives it to me, it gives it a sharp taste at the end on the back of my tongue. So I don't know if these guys are not very forthcoming with their labeling, so there's nothing on here, but I think that it's just it makes it, if you will, more milkshakey. Everybody's going for the milkshakey beers. Me, I'm like, let's go back to regular IPAs. Let's go back to really good pale ales, really good Hefeweizens. There's all these beers. We really don't need that. Like you were talking at the break about a seltzer that had 6 things in it besides seltzer. Yeah, we don't really.
Yeah.
I think the problem
keep
is
it simple,
yeah,
stupid.
the market's so saturated at this point. But I mean, we haven't really gone that direction.
Let's keep in mind we were talking about the Great American Beer Festival earlier, and there is an experimental category.
Oh yeah, and I've had some weird stuff there.
One of our family friends was a judge on it, and he said like one time he was having a Fruit Loops beer.
Yep,
and
that's a
he
thing.
said that had a lot of lactose. Now I don't mind it because, like you said, it makes it thicker.
Yeah.
But I'm someone who, like, when I buy orange juice, extra pulp.
See, I'm like, get all that damn pulp out of there.
I love the pulp.
You hand me that.
I don't know why I like to chew my orange juice.
No.
So to me, I find it appealing.
Not
I
going there.
I didn't know if there was any benefit to the ABV or. So
yeah,
it's
well,
really
I mean,
just texture
lactose is sugar. It's milk sugar. That's what it is. So yes, it adds to it. But I mean, it gives me a sharp taste in the back of my throat after I swallow. That's what it does for me. Now, that being said, small amounts don't seem to do that. But we had some beers a while back. It was like the milkshake beer. They called that. And it was really bad. Really like, oh my God, that's terrible. But yeah, these kind of beers. See, a lot of people are dissing these beers. This is what Aslin makes. This is what the Veil makes. And the Veil, I'll have to say, they make a lot of fruity beers. Not all sour, some sour, but I probably ought to order a load of those.
I mean,
actually,
you're playing my song.
I need to go to Charlottesville, and that's only an hour out. If I camp in Charlottesville, I could run up there and back. I think they pull beers on Tuesday. Well, I'm not doing much this Tuesday. Maybe I'll head on up there.
That's an idea. So I've
road trip.
Got to ask. Aslin is one of those, like you said, it's one of the 3 best breweries in Virginia. You got the Veil, Aslin. What was the third?
Commonwealth out of Virginia Beach.
Commonwealth.
And they kind of came out of nowhere. I hadn't even seen them on my radar, and I went up to Northern Virginia to do a court case.
So,
and there they were in this bar. I mean, this beer store, and it was everywhere. And I was like, I'll have one on draft. I'm like, damn, this is good.
So, like, I know the Veil's tricky to get beer from. Of course, you were mentioning Aslin's $45 shipping. If you go there, like, how tricky is it to get in there?
Okay, that's actually not a simple question. It depends on what they're releasing. And I'm trying to think if I've been up there. I know I have since COVID. But basically, Aslin has a big parking lot that you can't park in.
Naturally.
Because they have like a couple containers and an outside bar and tables. And then they have, so you go in, there's like 2 lines. And one line is to get a beer and one line is to buy beer. Okay. So the trick is that, whichever line is shorter, they'll actually, if you do whatever the line's for, they'll do the other thing too. That's the pro tip for that. Is generally they will, if you're in the line to get a beer, you go, oh, by the way, can I get a 6-pack of that? Yeah. But you can buy them online as well. But anyway, so I go there. It's like a big release. A lot of the big releases are on Saturday, but they release beer every Tuesday. So every Tuesday around 4 o'clock.
Brewsday Tuesday.
Yeah, every Tuesday.
They do that for you, man.
They do. 4 o'clock on Tuesday, they release a beer. And so everybody gets off work in Richmond and comes over and lines up all out into the parking lot. So I'll just go in, get another line and get a beer and stand around outside. And excuse me. A lot of times,
no, that should be saluted.
I'm not even looking. Yeah, I'm not even looking to buy a bunch of beer. I just wanted to go drink a couple of beers. Their beer is so good. It's really good.
I commonly run into that, and I think it's one of those.
But I don't think they're distributing this way. Aslin is. Aslin is in Blacksburg.
Well,
so, but I
that's
haven't seen the Veil.
All right. So before we go any further, let's rate these. He is Huck's Beer Buzz on Untapped. I am Horror Show Radio. Long story. We'll go on that another day. I'm going to go first this time.
All right.
And you know what? Last week you called me a 5 whore.
Now you're 4.75.
Possibly the week before. But you know what?
Could have been both weeks.
Aslin's Moral Grandstanders double dry hopped IPA. The flavor's there. The texture is there. And the packaging just looks so damn cool. You know what? They earned it. 5.
There
5.
you go.
I stand by that.
Fair enough. So the Bliss from wherever it's from, Buffalo.
Buffalo.
I don't know if I've been to Buffalo. I should go. There's 166 Chandler Street. This is a good beer. This is a solid beer, you know. And again, the labels, like they hand put it on there because they don't waste money on printing cans. 8% alcohol, a firm Huck session. I think I'm with you. This is a 5. Highly recommend it. Go get you some.
Well, you know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. First, follow us on Untapped Facebook. He's Huck's Beer Buzz. I'm 105.3 The Bear, Big Nate Danger. Untapped, Horror Show Radio, Huck's Beer Buzz. And this has been Brewsday Tuesday. I will see you again next week, Huck. Brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and 6-Pack Store.
All right.
I think I just implied that you were brought to us by.
Hold on.